This season for the Milwaukee Bucks has not been going so great. There's been rumors that Giannis is no longer happy playing for the Bucks and he may even request a trade. So today, instead of trading Giannis, I'm going to trade every single player on the Bucks roster in hopes of winning the Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo a championship. The first trade of this video we're going to pull off is trading away Ryan Rollins and Gary Trent Jr. to the Miami Heat in return for Kel'el Ware, who's a floor spacing big man. We need shooters around Giannis, so he's going to be the perfect starting center to have on this team, and we also get Simon Fontecchio. The Minnesota Timberwolves are offering us Robert Dillingham and Mike Conley in return for Miles Turner, AJ Green, and a first round pick. I don't want to pull off this trade, but I do have a counter. I would rather have Naz Reid instead of Robert Dillingham, and then I would rather have ourselves Dante DiVincenzo instead of Mike Conley. They do give us a counter offer. They want Taurean Prince for Leonard Miller. Let's go ahead and pull off this trade. This is a trade here that's going to help us a ton with the New York Knicks, where we send them Kevin Porter Jr. and Kyle Kuzma in return for Mikal Bridges, and we also get ourselves a swap worse 2028 first round pick. I've now thrown Bobby Portis Jr. and Cole Anthony in Trade Finder. There are some good trade offers, and one of them is for Dyson Daniels, but the problem here is Daniels is a 13% three-point shooter with only a 60 overall three-point shot. He's a non-floor spacing player, so having him in our starting lineup beside Giannis will not be ideal. We need shooters around Giannis, and our boy Jalen Tyson has an 87 overall three-point shot, so we're going to be trading away Bobby Portis Jr. and Cole Anthony to the Cleveland Cavaliers in return for Jalen Tyson and Lonzo Ball. Another amazing trade offer here by the Phoenix Suns, where we will get ourselves Colin Gillespie, who's a 41% three-point shooter, and Royce O'Neal, who's also a 41% three-point shooter, in return for Lonzo Ball, Gary Harris, and a swap worse with the Knicks. So we're going to go ahead and pull off this trade. The next trade is sending away Amir Coffey and Giannis Antetokounmpo in return for Jae'Sean Tate, and we get ourselves a first-round pick. Now we're going to be pulling off another trade here with the Cleveland Cavaliers, where we send them Jericho Sims and Andre Jackson Jr. in return for Sam Morrell, who's a really good three-point shooter, and we also get ourselves a second-round pick. Now we've almost traded every single player on this team. There's one player left, and that's Leonard. Well, wait, never mind. I'm pretty sure we traded for Leonard Miller. So yeah, we've successfully traded every single player on the Milwaukee Bucks roster except for Giannis Antetokounmpo. And now the goal will be to win Giannis and the Bucks a championship. After trading away every single player on the Bucks roster, this is what the new 9-man rotation will be looking like. In the starting lineup, we have Dante DiVincenzo, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Tyson, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Kel'el Ware. And then off the bench, we have Naz Reid, Colin Gillespie, Simon Fontecchio, and Royce O'Neal. And what I think I'm going to do as of right now is we're going to start Naz Reid over Kel'el Ware and see how things go. But of course, they will basically be playing the same amount of minutes. And now let's simulate the next few games of this season and see how we do. We currently are the number 11 seed with a total of 12 wins and 19 losses. So hopefully we're able to flip things around here. First game is up against the Chicago Bulls, who we end up defeating 140-113, and Giannis had a 22-point double-double, Kel'el Ware had a 20-point double-double, Bridges with 19, and almost every single player on our team had double-digit scoring except for Simon Fontecchio, who was 1 point away from having 10. The next game is up against the Charlotte Hornets, and we also defeat them 117-99. Mikal Bridges had 26. Wait, never mind. So this is the other team. Okay, there we go. Mikal Bridges had 28, Gillespie had 21, and Giannis had 19 points, 13 rebounds, and 6 assists. Let's see if we're also able to defeat the Wizards, which we should be able to. They're not too tough of a team, and we do defeat them 127, where Mikal Bridges dropped 32 points. Giannis only had himself 18 points. For some reason, he's not been scoring all that much these last few games, but that is all right. We also defeat the Hornets. And let's see if we can also defeat the Sacramento Kings, and we do end up losing to the Kings here, 117-106. And also, I would really appreciate it if you guys could take a quick second out of your time to hit that thumbs up button, and also subscribe if you're new. It really does support on my channel a ton, and we're closing in on 500 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button. As of right now, we will be running with a 3.5-star overall system proficiency balanced under Doc Rivers. And now I'm going to start simulating until the trade deadline. Depending on how we're playing, we'll reassess and see if there's any more trades we need to pull off. It looks like we need to sign a player since we have under 14 players. We gotta see which players are free agency, and usually, yes, he is. So Malik Beasley's always a free agent. I'm gonna go ahead and sign him on a 2-year contract. He could be a bench player for us. He's already played a few seasons with the Bucks before in his career, so having a good shooter like him off the bench should help. And even after signing Malik Beasley, we still have below 14 players, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and sign Ben Simmons on a 2-year contract. I don't think he's going to be a part of our rotation, but we could possibly trade him in the off-season if we need him to. We're stopped here at the trade deadline, and I'm attempting to get ourselves a new starting point guard, and I'm targeting Reed Sheppard of the Houston Rockets. Dante DiVincenzo just has not been playing well. He's shooting 34% from the 3-point line, and Ben Simmons, as you guys can see, it says 81 overall. If you guys are wondering how that happened, he was listed at the point guard position. I changed it over to small forward where he jumps up in overall, and now hopefully we can use him in this trade. The Rockets do decline, but we do have some first round picks that we can include. 1 swap worse does not get it done, but 2 does, and just like that, we get Reed Sheppard to be the brand new starting point guard. At the end of this season, Nikola Jokic goes on to win MVP, Cooper Flag Rookie of the Year, Grant wins 6-man, Victor Wembanyama Defensive Player, Buzelis Most Improved, Tyrese Maxey Clutch Player, Mark wins Coach of the Year, and we end up winning Executive of the Year. We do get ourselves Giannis on All-NBA First Team. I don't think we'll have any more selections, which we don't, but we do get Giannis on All Defensive First Team, and that will be it for awards. We did end this season being the number 3 seed, winning a total of 49 wins and losing 33. We did do a lot better after pulling off the trades we pulled off, especially for Reed Sheppard. Let's take a look at the player stats before we start simulating here in the playoffs. The leading scorer on our team was of course Giannis, averaging 27 points per game, 11 rebounds, 6 assists on 61% from the field. And then we had Mikal Bridges, who was averaging 20, 14 from Reed Sheppard, 14 from Naz Reid, 14 from Colin Gillespie, 13 from Sam Morril. Well, actually, we didn't play Sam Morril, but we had a lot of players here in double-digit scoring, as you guys can see. Now in the first round of the playoffs, we will be taking on the Philadelphia 76ers, who have themselves Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Paul George, Andre Drummond, and Joel Embiid. Now let's see how we do here in the playoffs with our new roster. Game number 1 will go to us, and Mikal Bridges drops 27 points, Giannis had 26, 14, and 8, Malik Beasley off the bench with 20. We do end up losing game 2, 132 to 119, Giannis had 26, 24 from Bridges, but that was not enough. We win game 3, Giannis dropped 28 points and 13 rebounds, and the rest of the team was almost all in double digits scoring. We scored 138 points. We also win game 4, let's go Bridges with 36 points, and so far Mikal Bridges is averaging 25 points per game. Giannis had himself a 28-point triple-double. We do end up gentlemen sweeping the Philadelphia 76ers to make it to the second round. So far, Reed Sheppard's averaging 13, 25 from Mikal, 13 from Tyson, 30 and 12 from Giannis, and 12 points per game from Kel'el Ware. In the second round of the playoffs, we will be taking on the Detroit Pistons, who have themselves Cade Cunningham. It looks like they traded for Klay Thompson. They still have Asar Thompson, Tobias Harris, and Jalen Duren. Game number 1 will end up going to us, and Giannis had a 40-point double-double. We also end up winning game 2. Okay, let's go. Giannis with a 20-point double-double as well as 5 steals. Reed Sheppard with 18. Can we go up 3-0? No, we cannot. They do end up defeating us here by 11 points. Reed Sheppard had 26, Giannis had 24 and 10, but we do end up falling short. But we do win game 4. Okay, so this is going a lot easier than I had expected. The Pistons are the number 2 seed, and usually they're really good here in 2K Simulation, but we are up 3-1, and we only won this game by 1 single point. And just like that, we're going to the conference finals, where we're going to be taking on the number 1 seeded New York Knicks. New York Knicks are looking a lot better than any team we faced here in the playoffs so far. They do have themselves Jalen Brunson, Kevin Porter Jr., who we traded for Mikal Bridges. They also have OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, Karl Anthony Towns, and off their bench they have Mitchell Robinson, Kyle Kuzma, and Landry Shamet. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1 will go to us, and we end up defeating them by 13 points for Giannis dropped 25, 11, and 9. Are we going to be making the NBA Finals this first season of this rebuild? When we do end up losing game 2, I may have jinxed it. We lost almost by 25 points, which is absolutely insane. Giannis had 29, Tyson had 20, but we do fall short. And we do end up winning game 3. Giannis dropped 25, 24 from Reed Shepard, and 22 from Tyson. And we're up 3-1, and we do not gentlemen sweep them. Can we beat them here? We do beat the New York Knicks in game 6 to make it to the NBA Finals. Over in the Western Conference, it's the OKC Thunder taking on the Denver Nuggets. And it looks like, I'm not sure, I thought the Denver Nuggets won. Okay, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wins Western Conference Finals MVP. And Giannis wins the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, and yeah, we will be taking on the OKC Thunder. The OKC Thunder were the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, and they have themselves Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Cason Wallace, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, and Isaiah Hartenstein. This is definitely a really tough team. Every single player on the roster is at 80 overall or higher. They have 4 players on their bench 80 overall. Let's see how things go. Game number 1 does end up going to us, and we defeat them here by 16 points. Okay, Mikal Bridges dropped 30 points. Giannis had a 25-point double-double. Naz Reid with 22. We are up 1-0. Let's see if we can defeat them here again in game 2, which we do once again. Okay, so Giannis dropped a 35-point double-double, 1 assist shy of a triple-double. Reed Shepard had 28. Are we going to be going up 3-0? Yes, we are. Okay, so this is going a lot easier than I had expected. Giannis had 26 points, 16 rebounds, and 6 assists. Malik Beasley had 22, Bridges with 20. And we do not sweep them, but we do end up gentlemen sweeping the OKC Thunder to win Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks a championship, with Giannis winning Finals MVP averaging a 30-point double-double. And of course, we are going to run it back one more season. We'll see if Giannis can win a back-to-back championship, but let's take a look at the player stats here in the playoffs to see how we did. We played a total of 21 games, and in those 21 games, Giannis was averaging 30 points per game, 12 rebounds, 6.5 assists, 3 stocks, shooting 63% from the field. Then we had Mikal Bridges averaging 21, 15 from Reed Shepard, 13 from Naz Reid, and a few more players here in double-digit scoring. In the NBA Finals, where we played a total of 5 games, Giannis was averaging 30, 23 from Mikal Bridges, 17 from Naz Reid, 16 from Reed Shepard, and a bunch of other players with pretty high points per game as well. For team player options, of course, we're going to pick up the team option on Kel'el Ware, Jalen Tyson. I'm not sure why the simulation doesn't want us to pick up the team option on Reed Shepard, but of course, we're going to pick up the team option on him as well. Qualifying offers, it looks like we don't need to re-sign anyone. Well, actually, I'm pretty sure Colin Gillespie is a free agent now. And yeah, he is, but I don't believe we have the money to re-sign him, sadly. It does look like we have enough money to sign Colin Sexton, who's at 80 overall. This past season, he was averaging 16.5 points per game, 4 assists, shooting nearly 40% from the 3-point line. So I am going to try and bring in Colin Sexton to be the brand new backup point guard. Let's see if he'll accept this contract. We'll offer him a 4-year deal, paying him about $7 million annually, and he will be accepting. So we get Colin Sexton on a 4-year, $30 million contract to be the brand new backup point guard. I'm attempting to pull off a trade here with the Chicago Bulls, where we send them Royce O'Neal and Sam Morrell in return for Patrick Williams, who could be the backup power forward. Patrick Williams plays pretty good here in 2K Simulation, and Royce O'Neal is 33 years old. I'm pretty sure he's going to start regressing this offseason, so might as well get something back in return for him while we can. That will be Patrick Williams. Here we are at the start of this season with our 9-man rotation. There was a lot of progression from our younger core, which I'm really happy about, and the starting lineup will include Reed Shepard, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Tyson, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Kel'el Ware. Then off the bench, we have Colin Sexton, Naz Reid, Malik Beasley, and Patrick Williams. I feel like we have the perfect mix with offense and defense. We may even be the best defensive team this season, but I guess we'll find out. And I'm really happy about all the progression our younger players have made. Also with the signing of Colin Sexton and trading for Patrick Williams. Let's see how the first few games of this season go. In the first game, we're taking on the New York Knicks, and we end up defeating them 122 to 121, where Giannis dropped 32 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists, 17 from Shepard, 13 from Bridges, and a bunch more players in double-digit scoring. We have 3 more games in this week. The next game is up against the Chicago Bulls, and we also defeat them 137 to 120, where Mikal Bridges had 24, 21, 12, and 9 from Giannis. A bunch more players in double-digit scoring. Colin Sexton was 17 off of the bench. Let's see if we can also defeat the Indiana Pacers, which we do, 136 to 107. Giannis dropped 37, 6, and 8, as well as 4 steals. Mikal Bridges had 23, and Tyson with 21. And can we go 4 of 4 for this first week? And yes, we can. We also defeat the Detroit Pistons, where Giannis dropped a 31-point triple-double. This time around, we will be rolling with a 4-star overall system proficiency balanced under Doc Rivers. Now I'm going to start simulating here until the trade deadline, but if there's no trades to be made, I'll see you guys at the end of this season. This season, we end up winning the NBA Cup, and Giannis wins NBA Cup MVP, averaging 30 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, 1.5 block on 69% from the field. And we went up against the Minnesota Timberwolves, defeating them 147 to 101, where Giannis dropped 51 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals. Reed Shepard and Mikal Bridges both had 21 apiece. We're stopped here at the trade deadline, and we're currently the number 1 seed with 42 wins and only 9 losses. So obviously we won't be pulling off any trades. Our team has just been playing so amazing, so I'll see you guys at the end of this season, where hopefully we can win the Bucks and Giannis a back-to-back championship. At the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama goes on to win MVP. Giannis was in the award races to winning MVP right behind Wemby, but sadly he was not able to win. Cameron Boozer, Rookie of the Year to DeJounte Murray, 6-man. Wemby also wins Defensive Player. Jared McCain, Most Improved. Devin Booker, Clutch Player. And Doc Rivers, our head coach, wins Coach of the Year, and we also win Executive. And we do end up getting ourselves Giannis on all NBA first team. Let's see if we have any more selections here. And we do get Giannis also on all defensive first team, and it looks like that will be it for awards. We did end this season being the number 1 seed, winning a total of 64 games and losing only 18. Before we start simulating the playoffs, let's take a look at the player stats and see how our team did. So of course, the leading scorer was Giannis, averaging 29 points per game, 12 rebounds, 7 assists on 62% from the field. Then we had Mikal Bridges averaging 19.5 points per game, 19 from Reed Shepard, 13.5 from Naz Reid, 13 from Tyson, 13 from Ware, and the same for Colin Sexton. The first round of the playoffs, we will be taking on the Orlando Magic, who have themselves Jalen Suggs, Desmond Bane, Franz Wagner, Paulo Banchero, and Goga. Now let's see if we're able to win the Bucks and Giannis a back-to-back championship. Game number 1 will go to us, and Giannis drops 52 points and 21 rebounds. That is insane. Let's go. We do end up losing game 2 here, sadly. Giannis did have a double-double, but we do fall short. And whoa, I almost just simulated the whole round. So the series is tied at 2-2 apiece currently. Let's jump into Simcast and see how things go. We will have home court advantage on our side. We do start off with a really strong first half, and we do end up defeating them by 25 points. Giannis 24, Reed Shepard with 23 and 11. All we gotta do is win one more game, and then we're going to the next round, and we do end up losing this game somehow, and it looks like the play-in Orlando Magic are pushing us to a Game 7. Now time for Game 7, winner go home situation. Let's see what happens here. We'll jump into Simcast, where we do have home court advantage, and we scored 56 points in the first quarter and then 38 in the second. I'm not sure how many points that is, but that's pretty close to 100. I believe we're at 90 something points in the first half. Let's see if we can close it out here. It is we do have the lead by quite a bit, and it looks like we will be winning this game 164 to 151, where Mikal Bridges dropped 38 points. Giannis had 37, 8, and 10, as well as 5 stocks. Now we're in the second round taking on the Toronto Raptors, who have themselves Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, and Jakob Poeltl, and this is their bench unit. Game number 1 will go to the Toronto Raptors 124 to 105. Giannis dropped 21 points, but that was not enough. We do end up winning game 2 though, where Giannis dropped 30 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, and 4 steals. Series is tied at 1-1 apiece. Game 3 we also end up winning, and here Giannis dropped 37 points, 15 and 8. Game 4 will also go to us, and we gentlemen sweep the Toronto Raptors in Game 5. The Eastern Conference Finals were taking on the Detroit Pistons, who have themselves Cade Cunningham, Tim Hardaway Jr., Asar Thompson, Ron Holland, and Jalen Duren. Last year we were able to defeat this team, so hopefully we're able to do the same. Game number 1 does go to us, and Giannis drops a 31-point triple-double, 26 from Mikal Bridges. We also win game 2, we win game 3, and we sweep the Detroit Pistons, once again making it to the NBA Finals. In the Western Conference, the San Antonio Spurs taking on the Golden State Warriors, and the Spurs end up winning with Victor Wembanyama winning Western Conference Finals MVP, and Giannis, Eastern Conference Finals MVP, averaging a 33-point double-double. Let's take a look at the Spurs roster here and see if they made any changes. It looks like they didn't make many changes to their team other than having Jeremy Sochan as their starting power forward. They still have De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, Sochan, and Victor Wembanyama. And then off the bench, they have Keldon Johnson, Dylan Harper, and Luke. Let's see how things go here against the San Antonio Spurs in the NBA Finals. Game 1 does go to the Spurs, and they hold us to 97 points. We do end up winning game 2. Giannis dropped 34 and 18. Can we win game 3? Yes, we can. Giannis with a 30-point double-double. Game 4 also goes to us, and we gentlemen sweep the San Antonio Spurs to win the Bucks and Giannis a back-to-back championship. And of course, a Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo wins Finals MVP, averaging 34, 15, and 6, as well as 1.5 steals per game. Let's take a look at the player stats here in the playoffs, where we played a total of 21 games. And in those 21 games, Giannis was the leading scorer, of course, averaging 33 points per game, 12 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 stocks on 65% from the field. And then we had Mikal Bridges averaging 22, 16 from Reed Sheppard, and a few more players in double-digit scoring. In the NBA Finals, where we played a total of 5 games, Giannis was leading the way with a 34-point, 15-rebound double-double, 20 from Bridges, 17 from Kel'el Ware, and 15 from Reed Sheppard. Now that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button, and also subscribe if you're new for more NBA 2K26 rebuilds. It really does help out my channel a ton, and once again, we're closing in on 500 subscribers. Thank you guys for all the support, and click here on the screen to watch my latest upload. Until next time, it's your boy Dragon, and I'm out. Peace.